Continues to verbally spar with Barack Obama, the latest over the lack of time Obama has spent in Iraq. McCain told reporters yesterday, quote, "Look at what happened in the last 2 years since Senator Obama visited and declared the war lost." When asked if he would join Obama on a visit to the war-torn region, McCain responded, "Sure, it would be fine. I'd also seize that opportunity to educate Senator Obama along the way." With us now, Republican strategist Kevin Madden and Democratic strategist Bob Beckel. You know, Kevin, you got Senator McCain saying that Senator Obama doesn't really understand things about Iraq, but Obama had the good sense not to want this war in the first place. Well, John McCain and many others were promoting it and going for it. So that pretty well speaks in Obama's favor.
Well, look, the fact is that we are there. We have hundreds of thousands of troops there, and this is a major theater, the most important theater in the war against terrorism right now. And Barack Obama hasn't been there since 2006. So how is he trying to tell the American public that he's the best person to be commander-in-chief when he hasn't even been on the ground, Alan?
He's questioning Obama's judgment. Obama had the judgment not to go. McCain went on fact-finding trips to Iraq and then talked about how we could walk through neighborhoods unguarded like it was a great open-air market. That market that he was walking through was hit the next day. And, of course, he had all this protection around him. So some of the statements McCain has made, you know, you talk about gaffes during the election year. He's made a bunch of gaffes having to do with Iraq.
Well, look, John McCain knows that victory in Iraq and a stable Iraq is very important to the stability of that region, and it's very important to the national security interests of the country. Whereas Barack Obama has advocated a precipitous withdrawal from that region, which would really endanger our national security interests here and in that region, and that would be a very unsafe, unwise policy to
matter of debate.
Bob
Beckel, most Americans, Bob, want to get out of Iraq. Yet Republican senators like Chuck Hagel and Gordon Smith, who actually talked about losing the war in Iraq. Gordon Smith called it criminal what we're doing there, and yet they want to blame Obama for a policy that really is the best policy for the United States.
Yeah, not only that, but these guys still think this is a good political issue. I mean, I don't get it. First of all, the idea of Barack Obama going with McCain to Iraq is about as bad idea as me marrying my first wife. I mean, this is...
Can we interview her?
Yeah, he said, but McCain says, I'd like him to come with me, and then he says, but he called for surrender. Now, you know, you got to be careful when... I mean, that's something Sean Hannity would say to me. But this is John McCain talking. You can't say that about somebody. Barack Obama never
Kevin,
said surrender.
I want to pick up something that Bob just pointed out. The fact that Republicans think this is actually a good political issue to run on when you're at variance with what most of America feels about this war. You think this is an issue you want to grab and seize and run on to gain the presidency?
I believe that it's an issue that presents a perfect contrast with which John McCain can gain advantage from. National security and the direction of this country from a national security standpoint is going to be a very important issue. And with Barack Obama essentially advocating a very weak posture for the country, John McCain knowing that we need to have victory in Iraq in order to secure our national security interests, that is going to be a very, very powerful contrast.
Kevin, you think you should go with the guy that thought this was a good idea, this war?
Hey, Bob,
that's
wait a minute.
The guy we should feel comfortable with, the national security?
Hey, Bob, he says the war has failed. He wants an immediate withdrawal. I guess it's easy to sit there in the comfort of his private jet and give interviews, or it's easy to sit in the comfort of a crowd that's fainting in front of him. Why not, go over there and talk to General Petraeus, talk to al-Maliki, and why not talk to the soldiers on the ground, and why not see if the surge is successful, as even the New York Times begrudgingly will acknowledge? Why not? What's wrong with that?
I grudgingly not. I don't even grudgingly not. I think it has been successful, but to what end? I mean, what is victory? That's the thing McCain can't explain.
You don't answer the question.
Okay, I will answer your question. I mean, look, the people who go over to Iraq, these members of Congress, have you seen what they do? I mean, you went to Iraq, right? I understand that, but these guys go. They don't get out and see any of the countryside. They're closely protected.
Well, actually, they can. I mean, they could go to. He can go to. Wait a minute. He could fly to every region, and if maybe he can't go to every area himself.
Sean,
hang on a second. When I was there, I talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of soldiers. I spoke to them. Why can't he go directly if he's going to say that it's failed and he's going to...
Bob, would he would
why can't he talk to the guys that know better than he does?
Just wait a second. Can we step back for a second? You said that he wants an immediate withdrawal. That is not right.
Pretty much.
That is not what he said.
That's exactly his position.
Can you ever give this guy an accurate quote?
Well, I'm making the point. He's going to start pulling troops out immediately.
He never said
Bob, he begins an immediate withdrawal. That's his position.
Bob, Barack Obama would be forced to concede. Barack Obama would be forced to concede that we've made progress there. That's why he doesn't want to go with John McCain.
And what would be wouldn't it be good to hear from the guys that know he can go to Iraq in the north, he can go to Baghdad, he can go to Camp Victory, he can go to the south, and he can talk to the guys that are out there every day.
Maybe he should go to Iraq and take a look and talk to these people, but certainly not with John McCain, not with somebody who thought this was a good idea and continues to push it. If that's the guy who's in charge of our national security, I worry about it.
Yeah, listen, I'd go to dinner with you, Bob Beckel, and you rip my head off half the time when you're debating.
No, it's worth it, Bob. He'll pay.
I'll tell you why he doesn't want to go. I'll tell you why he doesn't want to go, because John McCain's going to go there and he would look like a commander-in-chief, and Barack Obama would look like a stagehand standing next to him.
Kevin, you've been in politics a long time. If you were Barack Obama, would you accept that invitation?
You want to correct that?
Would you accept that invitation seriously? Would you?
And coming up, the queen of daytime